Namaste, hello family, Sony here bringing you a little more soul science to expand your consciousness and your life. How is everybody doing? Blessed and amazing, I hope, as always. So this week's message is part 2 to the inner dialogue conversation with spirit, self, and how I found my way through my path of enlightenment to myself, to source, to prime creator, and the messages that I have to share about that. And how I actually found my way out of depression and anxiety because I found self. And I want to share that and how to get there yourselves. So here we go. I believe the first part was showing you or also explaining on what that process was. And I'll go over that a bit. See, in my journey through life and through my experiences and the trauma and the things what we would consider negative, I was in a space of being unhappy, depressed, and through time I ended up getting really bad anxiety, like full-blown anxiety attacks, and I explained a little bit about that in the first part. But I'm sharing this with you because I know this sounds crazy, but it's actually an amazing place to be. Because when we are in that space, we're actually acknowledging a version of ourselves. See, most of us totally ignore how we feel or who we really are. See, depression, anxiety, and different things that manifest in the body are a result of a dis-ease in spirit, a dis-ease in soul, a dis-ease manifesting as in ignoring yourself. See, you have to develop a relationship with yourself. This is fact. And how I discovered that was literally going through misery, being really unhappy and not understanding like why these things were happening to me all the time. And in my journey, what I discovered is wanting to find my way out of this unhappy life, I found myself. I started understanding that the inner dialogue, that intuition that I was ignoring, was speaking to me every moment of the day. And I ignored it because I was so stuck in the matrix, as in what we're taught we're supposed to do or be or behave, or how to, what to create, how to act, how to treat others, how to treat ourselves. We are so programmed from the moment that we wake up, in this reality. As babies, taught how to eat, how to talk, how to dress, what to eat, where to go, how to do things, who to talk to, who not to talk to, what to do when we grow up. And we really lose pieces of ourselves in that journey. And some of us, we find pieces of ourselves, but we don't really find our full self. And what I mean by that is our being is really that energy that gives this vessel life. This is just beautiful skin and bone, the most sophisticated computer the universe has ever created to be able to exist in this third dimensional plane as we understand as physical, the third dimensional realm. But we are actually multi-dimensional beings. We exist on a non-physical plane and also physical. So not understanding that and not acknowledging that, which most of us do know somewhat of the non-physical aspect of ourselves, because we all are taught about soul. But what do we really know about soul? You know, from whatever religion we grow up in, unless you really dive deep and study, you really don't understand what soul is. You know, soul is that energy aspect of you, because you are a spirit having a human experience. That aspect of you is always speaking to you. It's always guiding you. And we ignore that. And in that process, we disconnect. And we disconnect and disconnect and disconnect and disconnect. Every action, every thought, everything that goes against our own intuition, we're consistently separating and separating and separating. Understand? So in our journey to finding ourselves, we find our way back to ourselves, to our true selves. And that is your true emotional guidance system that guides you to source, to yourself, to spirit. And believe me, that part of you never leaves. It's always with you. So in my journey, as I learned this, through experiencing a lot of things, guys, a lot, you know, between emotional trauma, physical trauma, mental trauma, you know, all kinds of different of abuse, you know, I've been through it, okay? And that was the main reason for my unhappiness. Like, I didn't understand life on that level, because all I knew is what I was experiencing. And all I knew is that pain. And in that pain, what I learned is that through time, okay, we are so separated from what our soul is calling us to want, or what our soul truly wants, which is the true us, okay? Not just the ego. The mental body is the ego, the physical. Look at it as the inner child. It's the young version of us, because the ego really doesn't know everything, okay? It's, as some people say, ego, edging God out. And this is the part of us that lives in fear, anger, non-trust, you know, all the other emotional feelings that we get and thoughts that attracts those kind of experiences to us, that make us feel that way and go through things in that emotional and state of mind. Do you understand? So if you are always in the mental mind, if you are always connected to the mental, to the ego, you are always going to be living at only certain understanding and creation and experiences, because you're creating from that space. See, most people ignore heart, which spirit is connected to. Spirit is connected to all of us, but mainly in our hearts, because we have a synapses, just like the brain, in our hearts. Our heart actually thinks and it feels. Every part of our cell is actually consciousness. Every part of us. That's why within what we're taught is we're separate from our body and our mind and our spirit. It's actually all one. The power of the mind is more powerful than you guys could ever imagine. And spirit, you could heal your body. I do it all the time. I live a very holistic life, and I rarely take medicine, and I feel good. You know, it's just I have to get the proper sleep and proper vitamins and minerals and foods in my system, and the right information and the right people and the right experiences. See, when we're disconnected from ourselves, we don't bring in that. We do the opposite of that. We don't take care of our bodies. We don't take care of our minds. We don't take care of our spirit. And we create a life that doesn't really serve us for who we really are. Some people get full blown out, you know, go into careers they really don't want, and the married people they don't want to, be with and have kids, and get tied up into all this whole different life that they're not really wanting to do. Some of us are lucky and we find a piece of ourselves and we express ourselves through that. And it's like the better said, it's the savior of our life, right? And most of us will find that, like, you know, if we're creative, artistic, you know, music, art, dancing, you know, however it is, those things are really co-creative things within our physical self and the spirit. Spirit expresses itself. See, that's what it's about. It's about spiritual expression and co-creation with the universe. When we don't co-create with the universe, we are totally ignoring ourselves. Understand? So, say there's something you really desire. You know, there's something you really want to do, but you've been taught through life that doesn't pay. You know, you can't be a drummer, you know, because, you know, it's hard to get into that. Or, you know, I want to be a nurse, but I'm not really smart enough, you know, because maybe I grew up in an abusive home and I was told since I was a little kid I was stupid and it was never going to amount to anything. Or maybe I grew up in a decent household, but, you know, I was programmed that I had to be this and I had to do that and I had to do this because it's in the family lineage and this is what I had to do. But where my heart and my creativeness and my artisticness, you know, lies somewhere else. When we don't listen to our spirit, our soul, ourselves, the energy within, we create lives we don't want. That's when things like anxiety and depression and disease and mental illness creep in, because we're not expressing our true selves. This is just a vessel. This is just a way. Sorry guys, I had to take care of a technical difficulty. So as I was saying, that is just that aspect of us. This body is just a vessel. It's just a physical vessel, right? That we use to exist here, to be able to do physical things, like create the things that we want, to love, to become the best version of us, give of ourselves to people, co-create with the universe, co-create with other people, experience walking on the beach, taking a ride in a car, traveling the world, eating your favorite foods. It's just a way for us to physically experience this third dimensional realm. The aspect of us, our spirit, is always speaking to us and leading us and guiding us in the direction that leads us to the best path for us. But not all of us are listening, and that is the issue. That is the problem. And that's what creates these things that manifest through time. Some of us end up having, you know, bipolar issues, or, you know, this issue or that issue or that or this or that, you know, and now we think we're sick. And now I have this and I can't see my way out. The best way to work your way out from a state of being is to unclaim it. Okay? See, you are always present. Your body is always here in this third dimensional plane, and your spirit is always here. Let's look at it this way. Okay, you're in your car, okay, and your energy, your vessel, okay, your car, your physical self, you are your physical car, okay, and spirit, and your emotions and life and your experiences and your desires, your dreams, other people, everything. Let's say they are the windshield wipers in the car, okay? I heard this scenario said the other day by Bentino Massaro. Great, amazing being. Make sure you guys check him out. I'm gonna change it a little bit, but basically those wiper blades are the things that you are creating, okay? And you can choose, okay? You can choose to turn the wipers off, turn them on, focus on them while you're driving, which is hard, because if you focus on windshield wipers while you're driving, eventually you're gonna crash, right? If you learn to master your emotions and your experiences and intentionally create them and not let them control you, not giving your outer experience control of your life, just like you don't let other people control you. You don't let someone else come in and turn on the windshield wipers to your car, do you? Do you let other people come in and out of your car as they please? No, you don't. You're in complete control of your own car, where you're going, where you're steering, what you're turning on and off, all the gadgets inside the vehicle. This has to be the same with your life. See, you do have control of what you are creating in your life. See? But we get so caught up thinking that, we are a victim of our outer experiences. We give our power away to that. We say, well, this happens to me and this happens to me, and I have no control over that. We don't have control over the co-creation with the universe of some of the experiences we're having in our outer realm, but how we choose to co-create with that and how we take that in and how we react to that experience is in your control. We can let someone that cuts us off on the expressway and is like, whatever, F you, blah, blah, and has this whole fit, right, on the expressway, and we can join them. Or we can just send them a silent blessing and say, man, that person's having a bad day. May their day turn around. And we keep going. Right? The windshield wipers. It's a choice. How much energy we put into turning them on and off or leaving them on or whatever. And even if we're in a bad storm and we need them on, right? We don't focus on the windshield wipers. They kind of disappear after a while. We're focused on the road and creating and where we're going and what we got to do. That's how we got to take control of our lives. Stop giving our power away. This depression or anxiety or this or that is not us. We are us. Our physical, our spirit, what we resides within here, that is us. What we choose to experience, that is a choice. It is a choice. And until you are ready to embrace that and be that, you're at the whim of everything. You're at the whim of this crazy scenario that you've created in your life. See, that's what happened to me. I kept giving my power away to people and places and things in my past, and that happened, and this happened to me, and that happened to me, and it was the same song. I was singing it every day for years. I brought that with me through years, and all it did was poison every single day. See, some of you guys might be listening to this and be like, man, well, I ain't there. I have some issues, but I ain't there. Trust me, we all bring something with us every single day. What happened yesterday comes in today. What happens yesterday, the day before that, comes into today. An experience from yesterday or the week before or the month before that's going to affect us tomorrow, we do bring things in. See, but we have to choose what we're bringing in. A lot of us don't. Again, we give our power away. This is the most important thing that I can stress to you guys, because this is how you take control of your life and your experience and what you're co-creating with the universe. This is so vital and so important. If you guys can learn to begin to even understanding that, now you're on another level. Self-acceptance is a whole nother level. If you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see, change it. Nothing else has control over that except you. Doesn't matter if we're stuck in a really negative, abusive relationship, or we're in a job that we don't like, or whatever the situation might be, we have a choice. We can make up excuses of why we're doing things and why we are where we are, or why we are, or whatever it is. Or we can step up in our own lives. See, when I stepped up and I started trusting intuition and understanding that that was the real me, that's how I started to transform my life. I trusted that, and I asked that version of me to guide me through my life. And I released, and I let go, and I let God, as they say. I know, easier said than done. But this is the journey to really true self-transformation. And right now is the time, guys. Whether you believe it or not, there's things going on in the cosmos and in existence that is taking us to the next level of our evolution. It's time for us not to be led by the physical realm. It's time for us to come back to spirit. And this is not about being this big spiritual guru in your own life, or, you know, following some religion. This is about really digging deep and finding yourself. Because when you truly find who you are and you express that, that is enlightenment. That is ascending to higher states of consciousness. That is taking your power back. That is co-creating with the universe the new reality and living in the golden age, that 26,000 cycle that I have spoken about several times in other messages. Stepping into that and creating the reality that you want. The first step is, though, you have to find yourself and accept yourself. And if there's things that you don't like about yourself, change them. And if there's things and feelings you have about yourself, heal them. Allow them. No one else in life has that power but you. The only one saying, but I can't, is you. The universe is not going to damn you for anything that you've done. The universe doesn't work like that. It's yin and yang, okay? There's duality. There's two sides to everything. Until you understand that, you'll never find your balance. It's important to do this. There must always be negative and positive polarity and energy so you can balance yourself and find that frequency, that energy, that life, that state of being, that state of mental thinking and feeling and emotions to rise. It's the only way. We have to go through the tribulations, as we say, but it's time for us to wake up to a whole nother level. And that's what I wish for you guys. And that's why I was inspired to make this 3-part series, because I want you guys to understand. It doesn't matter how you were raised, no matter what religion. I have studied many religions. I was raised with 2 different religions in my life, straight Catholic and Buddhist. And I've studied several others because I wanted to understand. This is beyond religion. This is finding who you are. And you are source, energy, God, the universe, however you look at it, whatever you want to call it, Buddha, Shiva, Krishna, whoever is your teacher, you, Christ consciousness, you are that consciousness embodied in a vessel. We are all one. We all come from the same source, guys. Until you figure that out, it's going to be really hard to make those decisions in life that lead you down the path of why you came here. You didn't come here to get a job and pay bills and that's it. You did come here to experience a lot of things that we get lost in, and that's love. But the thing is, we give ourselves to people who aren't really what we want. Not just in like partnerships, relationships and friends and family. We allow people sometimes in our life that take us off our path. But that's a good thing, because once we recognize that, we can just get back on. Get back on our path. That is the whole point of experiencing contrast. But see, now it's time for us to stop being stuck on the side that pulls us away from our path. It's time for us to find balance and walk towards our path of true divinity, of why we came here and what we came to contribute, not just to our own lives, but our friends, our family, and the world. We all have something to contribute to the world. Everyone does. Everyone. Don't ever think that you don't. Even if it's in the smallest of ways, we all make a difference. That's this week's message. There will be a part 3 where I go a little bit more in depth on how to do some things that help keep you on that path. So much love for you guys here. Remember, I'm only a click away to the next message. And make sure you share these messages, guys. There's always someone that needs to hear this. Nobody is a complete master. And even those who are into self-development, who are into personal development of the mind, body, and spirit, they also need some guidance, because we're all on our journey. We learn until we die. And even then, when we transcend into the next dimension, into the next realm, we're always learning. That is soul experience. That is soul evolution. That's why we're here on this planet. This is the school of Earth. Mother Gaia. Appreciate her. Love her. Just as much as you love that one person. Just as much as you should love yourself. Respect and honor all life. For everything is a teacher. Everything is a guru. Once your eyes are open, your third eye, you realize that and you see that. And then you step into your real self. And yes, when you are walking the path of enlightenment, there is a lot of magic that happens there. And I pray you guys get there and experience that for yourself. Namaste. Love and light always. I love you. I'll see you soon.